Because there are some changes occurring right now in the Amazon world. It's asking me like, Mels, what should I do to launch him? Because my old methods don't work anymore. So that's what Amazon is going to change, which is huge from an algorithmic perspective. Need 2 products, forget it, it's over. Simply put, adapt or die.
As I said, it's very, very simple. It's easy to implement, but it's also highly effective. And what you will see is actually generating 1 million euros in 12 months. Then as you can see, it's double the sales. That means in a 12-month period, we're going to generate 1 million euro, almost 1.1. That's based on how it looks like right now. Because this is a seasonal product. So we know that we probably will end up with this product on 1.5 million euros in 12 months, which I think is pretty spectacular for one product on Amazon Europe.
What we're going to cover today is one of the biggest problems that sellers have, which is a really simple one. What do you do when your profits are down or your sales are down or there's some other problem in your business? That took us years to figure out. But there's basically 4 numbers you need to look at. $100,000 in sales after 9 months. It sounds impressive. If the profit on that is $2,000, it's not impressive. A lot of elements that basically take away from your profits.
Who is your customer? And how well do you know your customer? Able to get $239,000 in sales in 1 day. It's a great time to be talking to influencers, and especially deals influencers, and to make sure that they get more money for their brand than the aggregator would just offer them. They sold for 14x.
You can target people at purchase intent, right? It doesn't get more powerful than that. You can find out from data what other products you might have that they would be interested in, and you can serve ads to those people too. It doesn't mean that the 7 or 8 that didn't buy are not interested. It might have just been the wrong time, right? You might have been waiting for the train and you saw a product and you thought, oh, I like that. I might buy that when I get home. You go home and then you buy it, right? But then there's noise in your life and you might forget. Let's just say you sell coffee beans, right? A good audience to target is someone who's just bought a fancy new shiny coffee machine.
We're going to be talking about some of the key considerations that businesses need to think about before they actually take that step into that market, like what the opportunity of expanding to Europe is and why should businesses move forward with that.
Well, first of all, I mean, here in the Nordics, expanding into Amazon Europe is so simple, it's so close.
VAT and taxes, it's a minefield.
Of mistakes. I think one of the biggest mistakes some sellers make is, being victim to double conversions.
If anyone in the room's thinking, probably not as compliant as I should be, what would your advice be, Robbie?
Over 800 collaborations with influencers, a lot of new competitors coming in all the time. And we think that thanks to this outside traffic is one of the big reasons why we maintained a market leader position. If people don't engage with that content, it's not going to get shown anymore. You try to scout for small influencers. The title is super important, so you can rank on that keyword on YouTube.
Of time, cash, and experience or knowledge. And the more you grow, the more you scale, the more these issues or opportunities scale as well. And some tips and tricks what I have done if I were an entrepreneur selling my brand. That's one thing you should be aware of if you're planning for an exit.
And the customer feedback loop is important for any one of these, right? So the answers are out there. It's not rocket science. It's all on Amazon. The reviews are there. The listing on Amazon, it's currently the best seller, but it's on borrowed time. Why? Because this guy here got released about half a year to a year ago, and they're already doing pretty good sales, and they're going to catch up and overtake this guy. The main point about this is understanding how to command the price, right? If you can command the pricing, then you've got profit until the end of time.
I'm going to talk about money owed to sellers by Amazon and how we can help you get that money back.
Get cash back, so you're actually getting paid to do ad spend that you need to do to grow your business. I mean, to me, it's kind of a win-win-win.
How many of you feel that managing your cash flow is probably one of the biggest pain points in running a business?
How will the Amazon sellers affect of the current status in the world? Like the war, like the gas prices?
All crisis, the money is still out there. It's just probably in another person's pocket, or they make another type of decision based on what's happening in the world. So I think number one is, of course, using that data, looking at the trends, see what the customers want.
And if you can be quick to market, you can absolutely,
At least we're all playing with the same kind of rules, as long as we stick to like white hat strategies, etc. that we're talking about. So,
any tips for finding like local sourcing, and also if you sell on several markets, do you source both in Europe and in the US?
What was your most important lesson from a mistake when selling on Amazon?
That's actually what Mel's talked about before, when you use old knowledge and you think it's going to work.
$1.5 million we put into this, and then it not optimized products, just Me Too product. We did something that worked, like slap, like boom, boom, boom. We can launch products fast. By the time those products were finished, stopped working. $1.7 million lost through the drain, like wasted. So yeah, that's the same thing. So prepare, do step by step is an important thing. And
okay, new question. This is like a politician, For me as a new seller about to launch in a month, what's the most important thing to think about?
I have a friend who's already sold 2 brands and they're about to sell their 3rd, and that's their entire strategy. They launch all of their products in October, November, and that just gears them up.
We sold them for $12. Amazon kept about 5 or 5.5 of that. So it was still $6 profit on a 40-cent product investment, right?
3 key things to think about as an old seller. We talked about a new seller, and it was a perfect month to start now. But 3 key things to think about as an old seller.
as you
Is there something you can't or shouldn't sell on Amazon?